Oh, but people are joining. Look, I
Oh,
see names.
I don't see any names. Oh,
I do.
hello, there's
Too.
Patricia. Hi, Patricia.
Yay.
There's a whole bunch of people.
Oh
Oh,
my
it's
goodness,
nice
look
to
at
see you
everyone.
all.
There's
Anybody
Marjorie.
here from the romper room generation? I see
I see.
Diane and Marcy and David. And I always was hoping that there would be someone who saw Marissa, not with a name like Marissa. I'm sure they saw Kate all the time on romper room. Yeah.
Occasionally. Miss Vicky.
Miss Vicky. Did you have the
Yeah.
same one we did? I mean, I just know that
Oh,
I was on Channel 9, you know?
ours
I can
was.
hold up my walk spoon. I see. Yes,
Yes, you
folks.
can. Yes, you can. Here, I'll hold up my phone.
Exactly. I see Michelle and okay.
I see
Mr.
George.
Doobie.
I see
Joan,
Marjorie.
Joan, have you been a doobie this week?
I see Joe. Mr. Doobie, how do you do?
That's absolutely right.
I see Trudy.
And I see very close to me, across from me on the camera, is I see my husband Mark Bates and my cat Clyde, who is basically Kate can attest to this. In the moments leading up to this, us going live, my cat was desperately trying to ransack this brownie that I have in front of me.
It was.
And when I wouldn't let him have that, he thought maybe my cocktail would be a great thing to have. It's 8:00 here. I've eaten my dinner. I've lumped my stomach. And now it's time for Marissa Rothkopf to enjoy a cocktail that her husband made her. What is it that you made us, sir?
A boulevardier.
A boulevardier. I'm drinking a boulevardier. Oh my goodness, leaf lard and butter crust.
Yes, oh, Marjorie, yes, and George has got. Is that a salamander or a face shield, Marissa? Oh, is.
Which?
I'm not sure, but it's just past 5:00 here now, so I'm just having a glass of wine.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
I'd rather drink wine than wine.
Than wine. And
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, we'll leave
yes.
the bang bang out of the chitty chatty.
Yeah, we're gonna make this a chitty chatty and not a bang bang. I, as most of you know, who read why we decided to call together the wine o'clock, to call together the raise up the bat signal, as it were, this week. It's been a bit of a week, and I thought I needed to talk to, you know how in like Ghostbusters, they're like, think of the nicest thing you know. And that's the way they try and like not have a big monster show up, and instead this giant Stay Puft Marshmallow is what terrorizes the city.
Yes.
I had to think of the nicest person I know, and that is Kate McDermott. And that's
Oh
why,
my gosh.
well, have you read your Substacks lately, Kate? They're very positive. And
I
I gotta
try.
say, this week I've lacked all positivity. I'm gonna be very honest with you all. And been spending a lot of my time being angry instead of being active. Though by the end of this week I became active, but I started off watching the Bondi hearings and things really made me quite angry. And
Oh,
like
that can
really
bring anybody down.
upset my mental apple cart, as it were.
Yeah.
How about you, Kate?
Well, I would say that, I did not watch them. I let me put it this way, I did watch them with the sound off,
Oh
and I
gosh, even
read.
that's kind of terrifying.
Oh, yeah, that was enough. I could read the script that, she was reading in her books or whatever, and then I would, follow up by, taking a brief look at, what media was saying, what the newspaper was saying, and, that was enough. It is enough. Yeah. As, right now, none of this it's not that it's not in my consciousness, it's there. It's there all the time.
Absolutely.
But, as Bobby McFerrin says, "Don't worry, be happy." Not quite don't worry, but be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down.
Um, I do think we should worry. I'm going to say that. I don't mean to bring us all down by saying that. Anybody want to listen to my brother David's podcast about nuclear war or any of those things from this week? You may do that. And if anybody's interested, I am going to try and have Joe Cirincione, who is the foremost nuclear war experts, on my podcast. I've had him on before. It's sort of what defines my podcast or my live events, where I have this man on who was talking about really nuclear destruction and nuclear annihilation while we were making blueberry muffins. And if you ever wanted a definition for my podcast, that was
That's
it.
it.
That's it. But we got to keep making the muffins. And that's a really good question somebody's asked. How does one become as horrible as Bondi? And I felt that she was under a lot of pressure, but also self-imposed pressure, to be very supportive of Donald Trump. You saw that in almost every one of her answers was directed in a sense at him by saying,
It's an
he's the
audience
worst.
of one.
It's an audience of one. He's the best president. And there had been rumors before that he was not happy with her
Mhm.
performance, that she wasn't doing enough to support him, which of course, as we all remember, is of course the most important role of the Attorney General of the United States. Oh, wait, no, it's not. That was supporting the Constitution. I get the
Oh
two
my
mixed up.
gosh, did we forget that?
Did we forget that? Oh my. But I think her performance really was there. I mean, what else would account for her in the middle of saying one sentence to go and talk about
The
50,000?
economy, the 50,000 or whatever. It's like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So as we're talking here, Kate and I, we would love to hear from you guys because Um, it's been a week. That's why we're all here, for those of you who are joining us now. And anything that you guys want to talk about or just sort of vent, we're here to talk about it. So please leave your comments in the comments section. That's right. She is supposed to be the people's lawyer, not the lawyer for the president, which is something I think most of us know. And it's just sort of something that, as we know, this when you have a
Her
fascist
boss doesn't
leader.
know that.
She doesn't, and she's choosing to ignore it because he's made her who she is today. A lot of who she is today. I think she had a lot of it in her beforehand.
Well, apparently she likes all the, she likes that "I'm gonna get you," I think she likes that, abrasiveness.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a sort of a doggedness to it, but that's not fair to
Yes.
dogs.
No, it's not. In fact,
Mhm.
my dog here, I'll put the camera down. Let's see if you can see.
Mr.
There's
Bosco.
Hey, come over here.
Oh, here I am.
He got a little treat.
He looks very nicely trimmed too. It's very
Thank you.
important.
I just did that today.
Oh,
I do it myself.
very nicely done. But
Thank you very much.
aren't you learning to do it?
Yes, I've been, for about the past 6 months, 7 months, I've been mentored by a groomer in my town. I bake for her, and I also, make some things that are, there's some sweet treats, and then I also give her some casseroles. And then she mentors me in grooming him. So it's a great trade. It's a
I
great trade.
really like that you've like embraced bartering. It really is.
Oh, totally, totally. One time, and I've been bartering for decades. I've bartered with lawyers, I've bartered with my accountant, and at one time there was a barter network that was, going on, and I was asked to join it, and so here are all these things that you could get, like massages or whatever, and I said, "Well, that's not what I need." They said, "Well, what do you need?" I said, "Well, I was growing the majority of my food, I was making my clothes, I was patching knees, all this stuff, and, I said, "Well, what I could really use is, can, uh can I barter for my utilities? No. Can you barter for my taxes? No. Wouldn't
No.
that be great?"
That would be brilliant.
Mm.
Um, I do. Do you ever get a little bit cranky watching the people in power in our government who probably haven't really paid many taxes or break laws all the time and like you spend 10 minutes extra than you should at a parking meter and you get $155 or whatever it is ticket?
Oh, yeah, I
That
find,
tends to make
it's
me
very
cranky.
cranky, unfair. Um, I I wonder about, how can I not pay my taxes?
Right,
And because I don't want them going to the things. These are not things I support.
right. And yet we
Am I
do
am I
it. It is an
that?
entitled class. You're right, Marjorie. It is. And I really, I grew up with a father who was an immigrant. Yeah, people. My dad was an immigrant. And for
Well,
him,
weren't all of us?
at one point, at
Yeah.
one point, um, but my father was a fresh to this country immigrant, and nothing made him happier than the ability to pay taxes. He was a little like he was someone who would sort of like stick with something, so you couldn't push him on it. But he was like, it's an honor to pay taxes. It means that we have roads. It means that we have a fire department. It means we have great schools. It's a
It's
lot.
not socialism.
No, it's not socialism. Um, anyway, I have a very lovely coil in here. Oh my God,
Lovely.
someone else admitted that their parents were
George.
immigrants. My God, George.
George is great.
Does anybody have any thoughts or questions before we dig in? Just start thinking about them because I'm just wanting to let you know that behind me I have my beautiful pink Valentine's Day tree. I am one of those. I don't know. Not afraid to admit it. I really think Valentine's Day is fun. It doesn't have to be an ooey gooey sort of like, oh my dearly loved, blah blah blah, because that's bullshit. But
We
I
almost did
like.
that together.
And in unison, it's thank you for I'm gonna move the pink tree over. So everyone can see it.
Oh,
It's great. Thanks. We have a pink tree down. It's resting on my gas stove. At one point it'll probably just go up in flames. Um I like the fact that it appears in the middle of February. It's flowers, it's pink. You get to bake for people. Obviously, that's a big fat thrill for me. Something I really like to do. And it's silly. I really think we need some silly.
oh
Um,
gosh, yes. Oh, yes. I baked today too.
Oh, yeah, what
Yeah.
did you bake?
Well, I made a carrot cake today that is, I just have a little piece of it here that I'm have to take a bite of. Mm, mm, no, you don't get any. Um, I made this one gluten-free.
Oh,
Instead of using flour, um, AP flour, I used, almond meal and, corn flour. And
okay.
then I whipped up, sugar with 5 egg yolks and just whip until it increased, like, fourfold, and then, put the flour and stuff in, which I had mixed with grated, um, carrots, and then I did a little seasoning and things like that, but also then I whipped up the egg whites, and so when they got to soft peaks, then I folded those in,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
I baked it, and um,
Can you hold the texture up? Because I'd like to see the texture. It looks
yeah,
beautiful and richly colored and delicious. Oh, nice. Beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it must taste fantastic and be moist and
yeah, and I
uh,
seasoned it with, like, lemon juice, some cinnamon, and, a little bit of clove. I was thinking of putting cardamom in, I think I might do that next time, and then, I topped it with, I warmed up some, apricot jam, um,
yes.
and then, on top of that, made another little put that on top, drizzled that over the top, and then made, the little frosting that you do with, powdered sugar and some lemon juice, a little bit of
Mm.
water, a little cream in there, and just mix that up and then put that on top of that.
I think the cream is really important for kind of killing the cornstarchy taste, which I can taste of confectioner's
Mm,
sugar in one
mhm.
of those glazes, or using one that has butter in it and heating it a little bit, because that way you don't get any of the cornstarchiness,
Yeah.
which I don't love. I love cornstarch as a ingredient, but I don't like the flavoring that sometimes I can pick up in confection
It's,
sugar.
like if you're making a lemon meringue pie and you're making that, it's got the cornstarch in there, you really have to, uh, cook that on the stove till you get it to the bubble stage and then cook, 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 and where it's going bubble, bubble, pop, 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 because there's a protein in the egg, that will, if you don't kill it off,
Mm.
it will, it'll say, "Oh, that's cornstarch. I love cornstarch. I'll eat that." And then it makes your lemon meringue filling just kind of weep
Ooh.
after.
This is a weekend, it seems to me, and I'm coming from like a place where the snow is still this deep and it's been melting. It started as this deep.
We
Um,
haven't had anything.
but lemon meringue pie seems a really great option for this weekend if you're not into the chocolate. I also have a recipe for lemon curd, and it's actually a passion fruit curd, but you can use lemon. And I have something in my eye, which is why I'm blinking so
Have
romantically
you
at
ever
you all.
done it with, blood oranges?
Oh, sure. But I
Yeah.
do it in the microwave. And it saved me a lot of the headache of like, is it gonna curdle? And it comes together miraculously. It's one of those things where you're like, you guys are wrong.
Well,
The kind of thing where you would read my recipe and go, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And then suddenly, like magic, it starts to work.
that would necessitate having a microwave. That's one of those
Ah.
new things. I
Mhm.
don't have one. I'm still, I got a propane cook stove.
Oh wow. Okay, there you go.
I do have wall ovens though too. That was a big thing. I see Lay has joined. Hi. What is this? Was watching a neighbor's dog last night in order to help her settle down, drove her around my neighborhood in my car. Works well for her. Yes, but you absconded with the neighbor's car dog? I found at least 6 neighbors still have their Christmas lights out and on. Yes. Christmas lights. Okay, so what you can't see up here is I have lights on too. I have them blue today,
Very
but they
nice.
they can change many colors. They can be lights of many colors.
My comments are frozen on earache my eye, you might remember. Now I'm wondering what that means. Um, I made something also gluten-free this week. Well, I've been making them actually
Oh,
for the
what?
past couple of weeks, which is, and I'm showing you this, let me break it in half here. But it's a gluten-free brownie, but look how thick it is.
Oh, that's
It's
gorgeous.
it's a very fudgy chocolate raspberry brownie, which if you follow me on my Substack, you'll have the recipe for. Um, it is so profoundly chocolatey. It's wonderful, but it also has these big bursts of raspberry flavor because I use freeze-dried raspberries. And I
So
used
and
for
they reconstitute in the
beautifully,
batter.
but
Yeah.
they maintain the tang, which is great. And also, I used hazelnut flour,
Mhm.
which is an expensive treat, but I used
It
hazelnut
is.
flour. Um, and it's wonderful, but if you don't wanna take on the expensive hazelnut flour, almond flour works really fine. So, and oh, you lost the
George
sound?
said he lost the sound. Is anybody else can't hear us?
Anybody else?
Or can you hear us? Heart us if you can hear us.
Yes, that's a good idea. Heart us if you can hear us. Huh. Heart us if no one's hearting me. Oh,
Oh,
we're getting
there's
some
hearts.
hearts.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Maybe I think sometimes Substack gets a little stuck. So
In
apologies for
what
that, guys.
way would that be?
I think they get a little out beyond their skis, over their skis, like their new recipe format, which I don't like. Anyway, back to
I
these
don't either.
delicious.
There's no way to print it.
Yeah, that's it's silly. Anyway, um, this brownie, look how thick and fudgy and delicious it is. Um, one, I've been reheating them in the uh microwave. Shh, she doesn't have one, but for the rest of us, it's great to reheat in the microwave. But it uses a technique that you were just talking about for your cake, and it's the ribboning technique,
Mm.
where you have to beat the eggs and oftentimes someone will say in a recipe, beat the eggs and sugar until they lighten in color. And what they're really saying to you is
Beat the snot out of them. Keep going. They're not done yet. Go further.
keep going until you can lift your whisk out of the batter and it forms almost like a ribbon, not just like you can see it running down from the whisk to the batter, but you can also see if you swirl the whisk over the batter that it forms a sort of ribbon in the
Yes.
batter.
We do the same thing with that with macarons.
Right. And it's really key because it builds in a lot of air. And so it gives you that delicious, in this brownie's case, in the case of this brownie, it gives you a crackly crust, which a lot of people think is key to any brownie. Um,
A crackly, keen crust.
a crackly,
A
a crackly,
keen, crackly crust.
a keen
A
crackly
crust that's
crust.
crackly
That's
keen.
right. And we do for St. Patrick's Day. We'll do the whole thing in Irish.
Mm.
The other thing I made this week, I just want to share with you all. This recipe just came up on the Contrarian, where I contribute every couple of weeks, the Democracy Forward site. And these here are also chocolate, and they're a chocolate, very rich chocolate, very cocoa dense chocolate cupcake, which I'm opening towards myself instead of you. And in the middle here, I don't know if you can see it right there, is a chocolate orange truffle.
Get
Um,
it so we can see it. Get it really close. I want to see.
I should have heated them up. You'll see them better there, but there we go. In that area here,
Yeah, I can see that.
you get this dense pocket of truffle, and you make them in advance. It's so simple. You melt um, you make a ganache with chocolate and heavy cream, melt it. I add some orange marmalade into it. You could add raspberry jam if that's not orange marmalade ain't your thing. You could add hazelnut butter to it, whatever. And by butter, I don't mean butter. I mean like paste into it. And then you freeze it. Then you let it sit. Then you scoop it and then you freeze it. And then eventually you get to the point where you're making your cupcakes. You blop a little bit in of the batter, put a little bit of truffle, put your truffle in, put some more on top, bake them, and they come out and they're just like a lava cake, really.
So I want to know though, was it on the Contrarian when you showed that and it had this beautiful little white heart on the top? Is that on the
Yes.
Contrarian?
Yes, because I made, is it still here or did I throw? Oh yeah, here's one of them. I made a little,
Yes. Yeah.
and
That's it.
so I took it and I,
Here, I'm going to clap hands for you.
I put this over it and I sprinkled powdered sugar on it and then I lifted off carefully, beep, and there's a little heart on top for an easy Valentine's Day trick. Yes, I have appeared on the Today Show doing exciting demonstrations.
I got the call from the Today Show once
Oh yeah.
from the producer, and they said they wanted to run the entire Today Show from Pie Camp. And they were gonna have everybody come, they were gonna run it from Pie Camp.
Oh my God.
And then they said, but then they had these things that they wanted to do. They wanted to make sure that the demographic of the people who would come to Pie Camp, they had to okay that. I was like, And then the kicker was they said they wanted to do it in the Hamptons and that they wanted me to rent the house.
They wanted you to rent the house?
Yeah, they wanted me to rent the house. And at that time, I didn't have the know-how to say, "Oh, that's wonderful. Let me contact my non-existent agent and and we'll get back to you." You know, I just said, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of money."
What were they?
But everybody talks about getting the call. The call. I got the call,
But
and it
that's
just
it's such a like detached from reality sort of story. First of
yeah.
all, you live in Washington State.
Oh, but I was
Why would
doing so much traveling across the country. I was
but when
teaching
and you were also
every
traveling to your house in the Hamptons? Did they I mean, to be fair, all these people who were working on the Today Show have houses in the Hamptons. Why couldn't they have were you gonna call Ina Garten? I mean, what? I don't
well,
know.
that would have been fun.
It would have been fun, but I'm a little that's a very
Yeah,
strange thing.
anyway,
I
it
have
was
to
it
say, if
was
anybody has any questions about how weird the food world has become, let us know. Uh, started out a lot of years ago when they used to pay people, and now we're all on Substack begging for money to be for our.
the other thing I find with I love being on Substack.
I love Substack. I mean,
no one will ever
let
get
me
me wrong. I love being there. But, we have to be everything. We write, we're the copy editors, we're the recipe developers, we are the photographers, we are everything.
we're the PR people, we're our
Yeah, the
agent,
PR
we're
people, yeah, and then you write something, and every single time I write something, it's like, "Oh," you lose people, and then it's like, "Oh," and oh, God, it just made me so sad. I had just gotten over, like, for me, I have a small Substack. I had just gotten over the 5,000 mark, and I was like, "Yay for me! Yay, big milestone." And then something happened, and I lost, like, 200, 400 subscribers. So now I'm like
you feel it.
climbing, but I do. Those are, both paid and free. The majority of them were free, but every subscriber means so much to us when you
Yep.
have a small stack. Every subscriber means so
Free,
much.
free or pay. And I always say, like,
Yes.
if you can't pay for it, okay. But if you can restack somebody's Substack, that's a great, that's another way of, like, if you can share the love, if you can click like, there are all these things that you can do if you can't afford to pay for a Substack that you can do to sort of spread the love.
And then I let go, when I came over the Substack, I let go of a WordPress blog that I had had since 2008 or
Yeah.
2009. And then, a couple years ago, I think I gave up all my Meta platform,
Oh, you
stuff.
did. Yeah. You're not on Meta.
It's like tens of thousands of people that were following me there. So this is what I've got. And it's like, so if you like us, share us. We love to be shared.
You shared. Um, One of the reasons that we came together uh, today was not to kvetch about Substack, or actually, I'm not kvetching. We're not
No, I
kvetching.
love it.
Substack is one of the best things that's happened to journalism in a long time. Even for all its bad things, it's got the good things. But one of the things was we felt we needed a reset after the week. Am I correct? That's what we started off this conversation. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kate's the nicest person I know. She always has something good to say and can kind of redirect us. And I've been doing my best this week by working out and trying to clear my mind and taking the dog for long walks. But it doesn't always do the trick because as part of my job, I'm always watching the news or reading the news. And it's the onslaught of stories this week about um, things that possibly will lead to the downfall of are on their way to leading to further downfall of our country, from the Epstein files to which don't seem to be bringing anyone down as they are in, say, England, Norway, other places. The only,
Law firms.
a woman resigned today, a lawyer yesterday. I don't see a lot of men resigning. Anyway,
Hmm.
um, the EPA was sort of taken down. We're getting closer to, like, building up more nuclear function. It's a lot of things that I'm trying to actually put out of my mind. So, what are you guys doing out there to keep yourself above water, to keep yourself from um, buoyant, I think is the state,
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
another way of saying it.
I know for me, making sure that I look up at the sky. I
Mm.
see clouds. I see a blue sky. I look down at the ground. I see little plants coming up because it's spring. I have a dog that, I'm very lucky that I can have a dog, as, some people can't. And, he's buoyant and fun and, makes me smile. And I have a grandson that I can bounce, that just
Mm.
any little thing. And I think right now what I'm doing, for me, I express perhaps the angst that is inside of me with all of this, because of course I have it. We all have a certain amount of it, I think, is I bake and I give. And
Yes.
if I can give, I can still do this. I can just still keep baking, be happy. Yes. Thank
Make
you,
pie.
Elaine. Be happy, make pie. That's kind of my motto. And or I smile at my neighbors. When I'll tell you one that is when I'm on the telephone with the support line for something, and at the end they'll say, "Is there anything else I can do for you today?"
Sorry,
And
that was
I'm saying,
Clyde.
"Oh, hi, Clyde." And so they'll say, "Is there anything else I can do for you today?" And I say, "Yes, there is." And they say, "Well, what's that?" And I said, "Smile at the next person you see."
Oh, pass it along.
Yeah.
And how do they tend to respond to that?
They laugh. They go, "Oh my gosh." And they laugh and they just say, "Oh, I absolutely can do that." And I think that's one small thing, just one very, very small thing that we can connect with people, that we are all here together. And, goodness will prevail. Love will prevail.
Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of work we have to do, and I think in the by the practical of writing our representatives and making sure they know that we're paying attention if they're not paying attention. I uh, and so I'm a believer in that sort of activism that we must involve ourselves in. But I also believe that the smaller things of smiling at other people, especially in a time, especially like it, where there are people being dragged off the streets, where people I know are being like, not people I know, but there are people near me who are literally go to work and are worried for their jobs.
I was
Because
reading that
they're
piece.
worried doing their jobs because they're Hispanic and they think that maybe ICE is going to come for them or somebody they love that day. And I
Yeah.
can't help but thinking about that when I'm surrounded by people who ICE want to take away for no reason.
Yeah.
Somebody said here that right after New Year's, I hibernated for 10 days. It was the best thing I've done in a while. I took naps and I read books.
Yes.
Absolutely. I went to the library right after New Year's, which was a beautiful thing in its way. Right. For me, libraries, like I've said, are a lot like church. It's about a place where I go. I went there as a kid with my mom. It was a place. It was about as holy a place as we stepped foot in. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Now, I grew up in the stacks. My son grew up in the stacks. My grandson is growing up in the stacks.
one of the
Yeah.
amazing facts I learned was decaying paper is made of lignin. I never pronounce it right, but lignin. And when it decays, and that's what's happening inside a library all the time is paper decaying, right? It gives off a smell of vanilla because it's related in the similar same family, I guess, as
Is that
vanilla.
why I like it so much there?
And
I
I
mean, I'm
think
up
that's
there
why we
2 or
like
3
it so
times a
much.
week.
I mean to write an actual piece about this where I like interview scientists and stuff, but in the meantime, that's why you like it.
Oh, okay, there's other things too that you can do,
Mhm.
is I'm making a point of, having a cutoff time at night that I put the phone down,
Yes.
put the computer down. I
Yeah.
do not bring the phone into my room. And I sleep much better doing that. If I go to bed, I have a pleasant book.
Pleasant book,
It may
definitely a
a
pleasant book.
pleasant book, something that I can read that makes me, like, laugh or just smile, just a pleasant something to go to sleep that way.
Mhm. Absolutely, that's exactly
Kathy
what I've been
says
doing.
no news after 8 o'clock.
No news after 8 o'clock. Good idea, Nat Kathy. Yeah, I've also been doing the same thing with my phone, which I know people have been telling us for years, blah, blah, blah. But turns out they were right, and I ignored
Yeah,
them.
yeah, and if you
Um,
can't go out and just feel the fresh air at night,
mhm.
if and, first thing in the morning when I let the dog out, I go out too because it's like a reset it's a new day. It's a new day, and I have
Yeah.
this moment of hope.
Has anybody else out there started doing any more like crafty stuff or arts? Because
I see that Marjorie has what she was taking. She said on here that I think she was taking a art class through the local community college community ed program. Yay.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm a terrible, truly terrible artist. But I've started
No, I am.
but I've started doing these like little drawings.
Oh, and Anne, very, very crafty.
She is
Anne,
very crafty.
yeah.
But I've started doing these drawings and it's really wonderful. Oh, community college. Have you been going to community college and like learning new things? That's amazing. Um, or for art classes. Yeah, we have a local museum where we can go for art classes here, and I'm kind of pondering it. I've even started pondering the idea of taking piano lessons.
Well, you know that was my my career up
Yes.
until gosh, 2006. That's when I closed my studio. And so now when my grandson comes to Nani's house, which is, he's right next door. So we have, and he'll be 6 months old next month, but he's been sitting on my lap and we have like 5 minutes at the piano. And I've noticed this week he's just really into it. I'll play something that is very simple, a little melody like for Elise or something like that. And here are the black notes with do, 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 so a pentatonic thing, and I'll put the damper pedal down, and he's just like into it. So makes me happy.
Absolutely. I'm sure it's making him happy too.
Yeah.
Sabine says yes, I have a feeling it reads like this. Yes, I go to counseling for political anxiety. Maybe I'm interpreting it the wrong way, Sabine, but I get that sense.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
also was wondering if I think you were the one who said that you do glass fusing, which sounds absolutely fascinating. Someone else has written in that they prepare their vegetable garden for spring. I got a whole bunch of my jugs. I'm going to do some winter sowing. Wait, collect maple tree sap from 5 trees? Oh, I'm jealous.
Very
That's
cool.
fantastic. Oh,
I'm going to do some. I have a friend who has this extensive collection of quilting fabrics, and she always just says, "Come over and get whatever you want." And in the front, I have these prayer flags that are, the point of them is to blow, and so they fall apart. Well, they've fallen apart, so I'm going to go to her place, and she said, "Pick out whatever fabrics you want." So I'm going to make some prayer flags to go in front.
I think that's maybe you could teach me to sew too. Weekly protest. That's interesting. So a couple of you are going to weekly protests? Are they like who schedules those? Let me know in the
Oh, did you see this
comments.
one? Marjorie said that recently somebody had a mild stroke and they think it was because of partially caused by political anxiety. We need to take care of ourselves. We
Absolutely.
absolutely need to we need to be hydrated. We need to eat well. We need to exercise. We need to think of positive things. All of that stuff is still going to be there. But if you can take a small amount of time and just do something that takes you away from that, get your blood pressure down or whatever you
Yep.
have to do. Do
Mhm.
yoga, do whatever, or just look at the moon. And then, it's still going to be there, but you have that moment. It's not there all the time.
I yes, 100 times yes. It's almost something like you need to remember, like you need to write down for yourself. I completely forgot what I was going to say because I'm so enamored of what you were saying.
have a
Um,
drink, have a sip now. It will help.
but it was the idea of you. That's it. Thank you all for waiting with me here. Let's just pretend Substack stuff like my brain did. Um, I have like I'll feel sometimes like I'm getting completely overwhelmed. My blood pressure will spike, or I'm like, I need to like eat something because, like emotionally, because these people are, and then I think, wait a second, I I'm not gonna like eat something distractedly because Donald Trump made me do it. Like I'm not going to give him the pleasure of me gaining weight, of me destroying my liver, of me getting a
I
stroke.
can do that very well on my own, thank you.
I'm very capable of that. I have all the skills myself. But I'm like, I'm not going to give them the pleasure of that. And that's kind of what I think. That's one of the ways that I sort of like protect myself.
Mhm.
We
I
can't let them do that to us. It's
good for you.
not like they're going to see a note and go, "Oh, a poor lady in New Jersey had a stroke because she got so upset from the news." Oh, they don't care. They'll be like, but you're right. Let them destroy it. Anyway, group classes for weightlifting and yoga. Brilliant, brilliant idea.
Yeah.
One of the things I posted about today, um, was I posted a note from someone in a local um, Facebook group to where I live who had been visiting Delaney Hall, which is the detention center in Newark, New Jersey.
I read it.
Um,
It was very, sobering.
it is. It's a very sobering and distressing is not the right word, but it's awful. It's awful to read what's actually going on in these detention centers, especially the one here and in Newark. And it's not just that the people inside the um, detention centers don't have the money to afford the food that it costs, you know, $6, $8 for a cup of soup because it's run by a private firm.
Who got
Um,
$1 billion
yeah,
to wasn't that they got $1 billion to run this, and they
mhm,
can't feed people they're charging people $8 for a cup of soup.
cup of soup. These are people who, well, don't have lots of. Not all of them have lots of money. Let's put it that way. Um, Their families, need to take Ubers to visit them. They have to wait outside. It's been below 0 here. The families are cold. And so, just the whole I'm simplifying it. The whole thing was so shocking to me. I asked him if I could right, they don't even have potable water. Um, was so shocking to me that I asked him if I could reprint it, in my Substack, and because one of the things he has at the end is things we can actually do for these people. And it's not gonna take away the hopeless feeling that is engendered in me by looking at these concentration camps as they really are. But, because that also has to change. But it really does help to know that, like, you're giving a warm blanket. Like, literally, they need blankets. You're giving, some grocery money for these families who've been left without the main breadwinner, or you're giving $34 or whatever so that someone can have soup to make
This
themselves
is
feel
more
better.
than in prayers.
It Yeah. This is more than, and it's not like you have to be rich to do these things, right? We don't have to do much. Maybe you have extra blankets. Maybe you have extra shoes. I mean, there's another woman in my town who's collecting clothes for people who are being deported so that they have something to wear other than the clothes on their back. So if you go to my Substack, marissarothkopf.substack.com, you can go and you can read this and look for ideas. These are New Jersey centric ideas, but I'm sure there are things going on in a neighborhood near you.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, as we say, l'chaim. Um, what are we going to do that's good this weekend, people? Other than help others, but I mean, what are you going to do for yourselves? I've been watching really funny TV. That's really helped me too.
I watched the movie Aretha last night.
Oh, was that
I
uplifting?
Oh, yeah, very uplifting. I had seen it years ago, and so I saw that it was, there it was, and so I streamed it last night, and I stayed up later than I should, but, it was very inspirational.
Better than staying up on your phone, eh, Kate?
Yeah, I was on the couch with the dog. I was not in bed with the phone.
Yeah, the dog was like, stay up later on the couch, stay up later on the couch. It's like having
But it had such a positive message at the end that, it sent me to bed with, that a positive message. That was good. Yeah.
yeah.
And then I'm got a class and I'm teaching on Sunday. I'm doing a baking class on Sunday. We're doing,
George
you know,
is George doing it?
George is doing it. Yes. Yeah. We're doing some muffins with 3 different toppings.
Yummy. You
Yeah.
said that was like an apple muffin, apple cider muffin?
It's a cider spice muffin. Yeah.
I think I need to
Yeah.
make some of those. I'm going to be making the bread. It's a multigrain bread that I made on my Substack Live 2 weeks ago with Martin Sorge, which is a really lovely bread that's like covered in pumpkin seeds, and it's like a really dense German bread. That's
And a
really
lovely person too.
Oh my gosh,
Lovely
he's the
person and
loveliest.
just yeah.
I'm going to work on spooky short stories. They keep me sane. I get to write the scary stuff. Ooh, I don't know
Okay.
this. That sounds fantastic. Oh, Anne is gonna watch Spinal Tap too. Great choice.
I've never
Great.
seen it. Do I
Oh,
wanna
you
is it
got
scary?
to. Spinal Tap?
What's it about?
Oh, it's about a made-up punk band. It's a comedy. It's
Oh,
brilliant.
okay, okay,
Oh my gosh, you have to watch Spinal Tap 1.
okay. I'll watch it.
Um,
When all those movies were coming out and,
Christopher Guest, Michael McKean.
I was busy raising kids and making a living and, putting a roof as a single mom, I was just putting a roof over our heads, food on the
I
table.
got to actually see Spinal Tap perform live at, it may matter to some of you, CBGB's. And Rob Reiner, of
CBGBs?
course.
What's
CBGB.
CBGBs?
And someone explained to Anne what CBGB's is. It was like the dingiest, hippest bar that also played really cool punk. Like it was kind of like the home of like punk music in New York
Okay,
City, right?
cool.
It's the kind of place where you go to see the Ramones. Um,
I don't know who they are either.
and coming
Like,
up
I would
next
say
week,
anything after, 1980.
1919,
It's new music.
they were okay. I'm gonna send.
Still listening to Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
All right,
Before
okay.
I had Young.
It's okay, Kate. Kathy J says it's okay. Me, I say we're gonna educate you. Um, you really need something like the Ramones in your life just to sort of head bang out the
Okay,
anger.
okay.
1980 for me. Anyway, Spinal Tap 2 is a great choice. Also,
I'm gonna look
any Christopher Guest movie with our Catherine O'Hara, rest in peace.
oh,
And um, 2 great people showed up in one of my favorite podcasts, Present Company excluded. But Amy Poehler obviously has a great podcast, but she has as her guest this week one of my favorite people of all time, Jonathan Groff, who is a Broadway star and was also on Glee. Someone's going to make very chocolatey cookies. Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed Glee. I watched that.
Okay, that's so
And I
cool.
watched Downton Abbey too.
Uh, that is so good.
And I just finished the current part of, Bridgerton.
Oh, next up.
Woo!
Next up is Heated Rivalry. Um,
Don't know that one. Okay. Alright.
Heated Rivalry is the big hot thing right now. It's the gay hockey romance that's got everyone in a lather.
You're gonna have to, start feeding me these things on a regular basis of what I need to be
We'll
watching
need to. Okay, everybody, this is our task to modernize her. Probably. Ooh, Eleanor the Great. That's wonderful. I need to watch. I've been watching Victoria from a few years ago with what's her name, Mark?
Jenna Coleman.
With Jenna Coleman. That's a really wonderful. Anybody out there? Amy Poehler's
Oh,
Take on Body is great. Amy
you know
Poehler.
what
Any of them are great.
Okay,
Which
you know what else you can do to really have a moment of just levity and smiling through is watch All Creatures Great and Small.
Oh, that's the nicest. The one.
If you want, just 45 minutes or an hour, or you can binge them, you'll smile through the whole thing. And it's just, and all of the stuff, as I mentioned before, as we know, it's all going to be there when you finish. But you just have this moment where you're just like, you're smiling. And I hear the music and I just start smiling. It's Pavlovian.
I really like the original one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say a little more, but if you
I have
want,
the books on my shelf here.
yeah, I've read the books. That's also a good old-fashioned read. But the other thing I loved was The Durrells of Corfu, which is which is just truly like you need to escape. That's the thing to escape with.
Yeah, and Marjorie's watching the Canadian feed of the Olympics. I have actually trotted up the street to friends' house who get the Canadian Olympics, and I go up there and watch the ice skating and that's really fun.
As proud as I am of the American team, I find the Olympics coverage in the United States, having watched it for a number of years in England, the Olympics coverage in the United States is so American centric that it's really distressing. It's really upsetting because it's like nobody else is performing there and you don't get a sense of really what the Olympics are about, which is about.
Do you remember when like wide world of sports would be on and they would show the entire field of participants? And everybody works hard to be there and everybody should have time to be on there. No, I love that to see everything, but you don't get that anymore.
And I feel that I'm watching also more commercials than I'm watching Olympics, but that's me just being an old whiner.
Oh, and hey, what about those Seahawks?
Hey, Seahawks. Yeah. Yeah. And how about Bad Bunny? How about people spending so much energy to badmouth him?
To diss one of our first languages in this country?
Yes. And what a beautiful, uplifting.
It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful.
No, it makes me lose speech. If you want to see my senator in action, look up Cory Booker at the Senate hearing for some white nationalists today. And it's truly a wonderful thing to see him just pound away at this man who is an admitted sort of like white nationalist and believes in the great replacement theory. And these couple of brilliant lawyers that are our senators really kind of took him to task, and it's kind of fabulous to watch. It was gross. Wasn't it gross? Yeah. It was sort of gross to see somebody actually having to defend their views like that. Usually we just go, oh, he's a racist and icky, or we don't see, or they write something and you read it and you go, ooh, that was icky. This was a guy in real time having to explain why he thought whites were better, while not actually saying why he thought whites were better, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
It was a lot of this sort of weird dance. It was awful. We should probably let people, they think it's okay. That's right. We should probably let people get on with their evenings, eat dinner, have a cocktail, do something.
Yeah, I had dessert first, so I'm going to make dinner now.
Yeah, I'm going to go heat up one of these brownies.
And look what the wine does to me. I get pink cheeks.
It's
I
really
haven't drunk
nice.
that much of it. And
I haven't drunk much of mine either. And I want to point out also that the cat spilled some of it. I mean it. The cat really did spill some of it. If you guys have any questions that we haven't answered, if you have book recommendations, I've been reading Jinsey Willett, by the way. If you haven't, Chris Murphy was great. I've been reading Jinsey Willett, who I absolutely adore. She has written so many interesting books, really wonderful novels that just sort of capture being human. And I just discovered she is on Substack. So I'm going to hope and try, and let's all hope that I can get her to do a live. I
just got this one out of the library, Michael Twitty's new book.
Very good, very good. I've interviewed him before.
And then I'm having, this is a vintage one on about afternoon tea. The Afternoon Tea Book by Michael Smith. And then I'm really the one that I go to bed with that makes me smile is any of the books by Gladys Tabor. And
Oh,
these are out of print. You can still find them occasionally, but oh my gosh, it's seasonal. She talks about going out and feeling the snow and seeing the sprouts come up and all her dogs, and just life is good. And there's the garden and their neighbors, and it's like, thank you. But she also says things, like the kind of thoughts that we're having. She was having those thoughts too.
absolutely wonderful. I am reading Jinsey Willett, but I've just gotten Roxana Julapat's book all on cooking with other grains, which is really, really lovely. And just reading, it's just making me very happy these days, just to dive into a novel. Please share your recommendations for TV, any kind of distractions, podcasts that you're listening to, what you're baking, whatever it is. We'd love to hear from you in case we haven't heard from you. Oh, Ron Charles. Yes, Patricia. Ron Charles on Substack is fantastic. He was fired from the Washington Post, came here to Substack immediately. I was one of the people who retweeted him along with like 60 million other people because we were all like, oh my gosh. And he is a true delight. Very cynical, very funny, and writes very good book reviews. So we got to support that because otherwise these things will go away.
And Joyce's book, Giving Up is Unforgivable.
Oh, yes. Joyce's book, Giving Up is Unforgivable. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that, who was it on here? Marjorie just ate her first piece of apple pie that she just made. That's a wonderful way to conclude things. And also, if you're not, for those who subscribe to me, please subscribe to Marissa, and I hope you'll do the same for me. Let me get back up to 5,000 again. It's my personal goal.
And Kathy J, did my brother put you up to this? To say David Rothkopf? You should read David Rothkopf. Blue Moon, you watched Blue Moon. Blue Moon, aside from my brother, yeah, he's a great guy. And actually one of the funniest people I know. But both my brothers. Blue Moon was written, I have to say this, I love saying this. Blue Moon was written by my high school English teacher. My high school English teacher was nominated for an Oscar for Blue Moon, and he must be deep in his 60s at this point. And he has not been writing. Sorry?
A youngster.
But it just brings me so much joy. This was a man who taught me. It was the best English teacher, and he stuck to it. And he nominated for an Oscar. It's just the most amazing thing.
That's great.
I'm going to try and watch that. Peanut butter and chocolate. You're just going to dive headfirst in, Kathleen, or are you going to make peanut butter and chocolate cookies? No, don't watch The Boys in the Band. No.
I love Boys in the Boat.
Oh, Boys in the Boat.
Do you know one of those guys, of the Boys in the Boat? One of them, the who it's about. He grew up the next town over from me.
I love that. I love that movie. I watched The Boys in the Boat with the entire Montclair High School crew team together in a movie theater. It was kind of awesome.
Yeah, they have actually one of the boats or whatever it is. They have that in the Squim Historical Society. They have it hung up there. It's huge.
It is a huge boat.
Long, yeah. Anyway.
I used to row in my time. I rowed at college. Anyway, thank you. Yes, the chocolate peanut butter cookies from my book. I do have a book. If you don't know, it's The Secret Life of Chocolate Chip Cookies.
And the recipes are great.
Just as they are, and The Art of Pie, Mutual Admiration Society. Ooh, me. And I believe they make wonderful Valentine's Day gifts. I didn't mean to turn this into a shill, but in case my publisher's watching.
Yeah, but give something that you can do something with. That it's just not, there's a nice book, you read it, and then it goes on the shelf. With cookbooks, you use them.
Yeah.
You use them. And they want to be used. Your cookbook wants to look all fingerprinted and gooey.
And totally, the pages stuck
Badge
together.
of honor.
Oh, Kathy made a pie crust, and I'm interested to know what you're going to fill it with. I have to say thank you to Kate McDermott for being here tonight, and very much especially, which is not English, but very much especially to all of you guys who showed up, who spent an hour of your time with us. I feel much better. I wonder if you could hear my dog howling in the window.
Mine is ready to go out.
You guys have done a wonderful job in helping cheer me up at the end of this really horrifying week. So let's all go out there and
smile at the next person you see.
Smile at the next person you see, and
don't give up.
And don't give up. If Anne can make her very first pie crust at 68, we can all be making pie crust. See, it's such a nice message, and it's such a soothing process. Pie crust should make you happy. And pie should make you happy.
That's it right there. And
thank you. And cookies. Of course, cookies make you happy. Thank you so much, everybody. You really did a lot for me, I know.
And for me too. Okay. We'll see you next time.
See you, and leave any comments. We'll post this and you can leave your comments with that. So thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Treat yourself with kindness.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And happy Valentine's Day.